iron left in the sink tells me you packed your suitcase before dawn. The coffee pot is dry and cold, and half our history is gone. I touch the indentation on the mattress edge where you used to dream. Silence fills the hallway now, louder than a passing stream. Old photographs are turning brown inside the drawer. We walk this floor 1,000 times and nothing more. The kettle whistles softly to a vacant room, and I am left behind to sweep the afternoon. Your favorite raincoat still hangs by the heavy door, with ticket stubs from 1964. I trace the dust upon the mantelpiece, where quiet sorrow finds a fragile peace. Time does not heal the hollow space. It only dims the color of your face. I thought that love would be an anchor in the gale. Instead it's just a folded letter left to mail. The grandfather clock ticks away the empty hours. I close the window against the evening chill. The street lamp flickers on the vacant sidewalk, and my slow heart remembers still. An ambulance bell cuts right through the fog. We're sitting on crates by the broken brick wall. Decades have drifted since back in the yard, when nothing could shatter us, nothing at all. I watch how the autumn pulls gray through your hair. Remember the promise we whispered right there. You packed up your bags for a different town and left all our records to gather the dust. I stayed on the corner when boats started down. We traded our summer for silence and rust. Your letters grew sparse till they stopped in July. I burned every page in the rusty old stove. The neighbors all wondered the reason you'd fly, while I kept on tending the roots of the grove. Time is a river that carries the blame. It hollows out stone and it alters a name. turn off the lamp, and I rest my tired feet. The smell of toasted rye drifts down the hall, where suitcase leather waits against the wall. He leaves his silver watch upon the shelf and tries to explain the ending to himself. She didn't cry when the taxicab pulled away, just folded her apron and turned off the overhead light. Some love stories burn out in the rain, leaving nothing behind but a lingering strain. He boards the evening train with the ticket to Rome, while she sweeps the front porch and calls it a home. Decades pass by like pages in a book found in a dusty drawer. With one quick look, a faded photograph of autumn trees and faded promises carried on the breeze. Time heals the heavy heart, they say, but memory refuses to fade away. Across the miles they never met again, two quiet strangers in a world of men. The station clock strikes midnight in the town as another tired traveler puts his burden down. A sudden memory broke the midnight quiet, shifting dust across the hardwood floor. I reached to touch the place where you were sleeping and found your heavy coat behind the door. The street lamp flickers amber through the shade, casting long shadows on the empty bed. Old records spin beneath the heavy needle, while black and white rolls through the silver screen. We walked the pier before the storm broke open. Now silence fills the space where we have been. I poured a cup of tea and let it cool down, watching steam rise up against the pane. Your ticket stub is tucked inside the Bible, stained by the dampness of an autumn rain. Time moves slowly when the room is freezing, and every ticking clock pretends to care. I still keep turning round to catch your laughter, forgetting for a second you're not there. The trailing notes fade softly down the hallway, as dawn begins to touch the window glass. I fold your letters neatly in the drawer now and watch another quiet morning pass. Why do the clocks in empty houses tick so loud when nobody is left to check the time? I walked into the kitchen just to pour some tea and found your favorite porcelain cup still clean. I keep forgetting you moved across the floor to rooms where shadows never fall anymore. Old photographs curl at the edges in the drawer. We promised forever right beside the grocery store. Now the milk goes sour and the front door stays unlocked, while my wandering fingers trace a ring that time undid. I spent the afternoon fixing that stubborn latch, the one you always complained about in spring. It clicks into place and suddenly the silence hurts like a heavy coat dropped on a tired shoulder. They say that hearts can mend like broken china plates, with lines of gold to hold the pieces in their place. But mine just leaks whenever the weather turns to rain, and I forget which side of the bed you used to claim. The kettle whistles softly on the back burner. I turn off the flame and talk to the empty air. Maybe tomorrow I will finally fold your sweaters and put them away in the dark cedar chest. The weight of the chair feels heavier now that the room is so bare. I polished the oak where your elbow would lean, without a care. We planted a garden of promises meant to outlast the cold. Instead we just watched as the copper of autumn turned into gold. I saved all the pennies we tossed in the tin by the kitchen door, expecting a fortune of tomorrow that never came to our floor. with nothing left standing between all the tears that we tried to hide. I packed up the boxes and tied every string with a steady hand, while watching the footprints we left wash away in the falling sand. I found the old postcard you mailed from the coast in '92. The ink is all faded, but every remembrance still rings true. You spoke of a harbor where big ships would dock at the break of dawn, while I was too busy keeping the fires burning while you were gone. If time is a healer, it moves like a glacier across the floor, and love is a visitor knocking too late at a bolted door. I forgive you the silence, I pardon myself for the heavy pride. We simply ran out of the road where the two of us used to ride. The room is quite empty, the twilight is settling on the sill. I turn off the lamp and the house grows wonderfully softly still. I carry the key in my pocket, ready to lock the gate and walk toward the evening before it gets just a bit too late. The amber glow spills off the counter edge, while the nickel coffee cools inside the cup. You turn a calendar page from June to May and never lift your heavy eyelids up. I never meant to sit this close to you, beneath the buzzing neon overhead. Some ghosts arrive with baggage in their hands, some leave their coats upon the wooden chair. We traded secrets to the kitchen wall before the morning chased away the chill in the air. The waitress wipes the vinyl stool nearby and drops a silver spoon into the sink. You trace a circle on the paper mat and wonder what I am too shy to think. The clock above the register is slow, it ticks away the moments we have left before the door swings open to the street and leaves this quiet corner quite bereft. Drink down your coffee while the steam remains. We walk in opposite directions through the rain. said yesterday the winter wind had teeth. I found a frozen leaf stuck underneath your porch. A pair of boots still resting by the screen, where mud turned gray and dried into a crust. Every little mark you left behind paints a picture that is hard to drop. I count the empty jars upon the sill and watch the rusted weather vane stand still. No note was pinned beside the kitchen door, just silence spreading across the wooden floor. The calendar still shows last Tuesday's date, a button rolled beneath the rocking chair. Your favorite mug is sitting half unwashed, with rings of bitter coffee growing dark. Time does not heal the way the story ends. It simply folds the edges out of sight. I touch the place where your hand used to rest and turn the lock to face the fading light. The milkman took the empty bottles back. I pulled the heavy curtains on the track. Another evening settles in the hall, without your shadow leaning on the wall. Rough tweed pressed against my trembling fingertips, while the station clock ticks down our final hour. You are looking past the tracks into the gray, holding tightly to a paper bag of flour. Forgot to ask you how the garden grew before the autumn frost turned everything so blue. Trains roll out and steel wheels start to grind, leaving all our quiet Sundays far behind. I still feel the wool against my hand as you fade into the dust of this old land. Years have rolled like freight cars down a broken line, and my heavy eyes refuse to read the page. Pictures yellow slowly in a wooden frame, caught between the chapters of approaching age. Every whistle in the night recalls your coat and a heavy lump of sorrow in my throat. I am sitting by the window in the dark, waiting for a spark that never comes back home. the hour on the copper dial. I trace the dust upon the mantelpiece a little while. Your favorite woolens still hang behind the cellar door, and winter drafts no longer whistle on the hardwood floor. I wonder if you kept that ticket stub inside your coat, or dropped it from the railing where the paper boats would float. Years will roll the carpet thin, we miss the dance we could have been. A faded photograph of slate, arriving just a minute late. I put the silver kettle on to boil for one, and watch the shadows lengthen till the afternoon is done. The radio is playing strings from 1943, and every vacant armchair holds a memory for me. Sometimes in the quiet dark I hear your footsteps tread across the boards we sanded down before the summer fled. I fold the blanket neatly by the windowsill. The tea grows cold because the room has grown so still. I pull the heavy curtains close against the setting sun, and whisper to the empty space, our song is done. Solitary hairpin rest beside the porcelain cup. I stare at where your hand would curl. The afternoon is heavy and the shadows stretch too long. I have no words to start the search. Footsteps echo down the hall. I turn my head in vain, expecting your familiar knock. Love slipped away like water through open palms, leaving a quiet room and a ticking clock. We wrote our names in pencil on the kitchen wall. Now winter wind is rattling the padlock. Your favorite woolen sweater hangs across the wooden chair. I trace the seams where elbows wore. The tea has turned to amber ice, the fire finally died. I walk across the creaking floor. Seasons turn their pages while the photograph fades out. I thought our story had a longer road. Time takes back the promises it told us in the dark, and leaves me with this heavy load. I fold the blanket neatly and I lock the heavy door. The quiet settles deep inside my chest. I leave the hairpin sitting by the empty porcelain cup, and finally I let the memories rest. truck rattled down the cobblestone and spilled your favorite cup of porcelain bone. You stared right through the kitchen window pane while I was tracing patterns in the rain. We saved our letters in a rusty tin and wondered where the other half had been. Old friends divide the silver from the rust. We left our promises in summer dust. You take the heavy trunk, I take the view, and neither one of us knows what to do. A heavy woolen coat upon the chair reminds me how you used to wear your hair. We kept the radio at 5:30 to prove our stubborn history was alive. Remember walking by the harbor wall before the leaves began to brown and fall. We thought the world would wait for you and me across the gray and unforgiving sea. The milkman left a note beside the gate and whispered that it simply grew too late. I fold my collar from the autumn chill and walk alone down Maple Street uphill. The smell of toasted rye drifts through the general store while Arthur sweeps the sawdust from the pine board floor. He remembers 30 autumns since she walked away with nothing but a basket and a calico dress that day. The village clock tower strikes the heavy hour while frost begins to silver over every flower. He left his hat upon the peg where hers used to hang and listened to the chapel bell as it slowly rang. No letters came across the bridge to ease his mind, just footsteps in the frozen mud that stayed behind. A heavy woolen blanket keeps the drafts at bay while kerosene lamps flicker as the shadows play. He stirs the copper kettle on the iron stove and thinks about the promises they used to prove. Seasons turn from green to white and back again without a single word from her since back then. watches how the moonlight rests upon the silent hill. A sudden clatter broke the quiet room as copper coins fell rolling on the floor. You stood beside the lace-curtained window with trembling fingers tracing wood and door. I watched your shoulders sink beneath the shawl before you turned and didn't speak at all. Trains depart when autumn leaves are brown, taking every promise out of town. We packed our laughter in a cardboard box and left the fading harbor to the docks. Two steaming mugs grew bitter in the chill. The platform clock stood heavy at the 5. I kept a faded photograph of you to prove our fleeting season was alive. Time rolls onward like a carriage wheel, dragging pieces of the past we used to feel. The tracks grow rusty underneath the rain as distance slowly washes out your name. I fold the final paper crane alone and walk back to a house I used to own. Does the tea kettle whistle when no one is thirsty? I stare at the linoleum pattern while folding a napkin. 10 square tiles of yellow that faded in 1980. My fingers trace the edge of a chipped ceramic cup. Thoughts drift backward like dust motes in slanted sunlight. You left your wool scarf draped across the wicker rocker. I never found the nerve to hang it in the closet. It still smells faintly of pipe tobacco and pine. Old photographs curl at the border like autumn leaves. We danced in the kitchen while soup boiled over the stove. Now the floorboards are quiet under my slippers alone, and time is a river that carried us far from our home. I reach for the dial on the Philco to find a broadcast. Static hums softly instead of the brass band we loved. A nickel sits on the counter beside a grocery list, written in ink that has turned to a dusty violet. The latch on the back screen door clicks in the evening breeze. empty chair by the hearth. Old photographs curl at the border like autumn leaves. We danced in the kitchen while soup boiled over the stove. Now the floorboards are quiet under my slippers alone, and time is a river that carried us far from our home. Seasons turn slowly through frosted window panes. I keep the porch light burning till the midnight train, just in case you misplace your key in the dark. The kettle grows silent as the water finally cools down. I fold your woolen scarf and place it in the drawer. The house breathes deeply and waits for the dawn to break. The weight of the chair is heavy tonight. I sit where you rested your coat. A photograph fading under the light, and words that I never could quote. Time was a thief with a gentle stride, stealing the warmth from our wooden floor. We traded our dreams for a quiet routine and watched all the seasons slip in between. I held back my sorrow, you hid your regret. Two strangers who happen to somehow forget. Your teacup still sits on the second shelf, unwashed and untouched since July. I whisper these warnings to my past self, with salt growing thick in my eye. If I could turn back the calendar page, I would shatter the pride and open the cage. The room is now empty, the fireplace cold. I read every story that we left untold. Forgive me, my darling, for letting you go in winters that taught us the deepest of snow. The amber glow of street lamps on the stone reveals a bench where no one sits alone, except for you, with autumn in your coat, and silence like a coin inside your throat. I stop my stride beneath the folding to ask if fortune favored your design, or if the chill had driven you to stay until the trams had rusted all away. Do you remember how the river bent before the willow branches came and went, and left us wondering which way to tread, when every map was turning green instead? You turned your head and smiled a crooked line, as if my coat were just as worn as mine, and offered up a lighter for the dark, without a word to fan the sudden spark. We shared an hour of watching shadows grow, where trains departed very long ago. Two strangers caught inside a passing tune, beneath the paper lantern of the moon. The second hand is ticking down the street. I take my leave upon uncertain feet. Your quiet face is fading from my sight, yet still I keep the matches from tonight. You said yesterday the mailman dropped his ring down inside the sewer grate beside the pump. I noticed how your winter coat had lost a button right above the hem where tweed begins to fray. Small details linger when the room gets quiet, a teacup drying on a folded tea towel, the way the calendar still shows last October, before the driveway froze, and parking meters tick away the afternoon, while pigeons gather round a puddle turned to ice. We watch the neighborhood grow older by degrees, with nothing left to pack and nowhere else to please. The grocery ledger sits beside the butter knife, with 20 cents recorded for a pound of pears. I found a ticket stub tucked underneath the cushion from 40 summers past when theaters stayed awake. These little pieces left behind on wooden tables are all we keep to prove we shared the floor. A spool of thread, a pair of scissors on the shelf, and silence closing doors. The porch light flickers as the shadows stretch along. We count the seconds till the evening news begins, and turn turn the iron down before the kitchen chills. Faded wool from your father's old coat hangs on the peg by the pantry door. I run my thumb through the raveling hem, counting the threads of the life we wore. A heavy iron sitting on the stove, warming the linen we used to fold. Seasons turn like pages in a thumb-through book. I found your silver spectacles inside a nook. We spent our pennies wisely on a rented room before the quiet filled our house with autumn gloom. Two teacups resting on the cedar shelf, one stained with tannin from the autumn rain. I turned the handle to the painted wall and listened closely to the window pane. Time does not hurry when the rooms are still. It settles down like dust upon the floor. I keep the parlor window open just an inch to catch the breeze that carried you once more. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. The linen cools beneath my tired hand. I fold the blanket just the way you planned. The sun slips quietly behind the willow tree and leaves the evening sitting down with me. A brass key left on the bureau top. It holds the dust of a season past. I turn it round in my trembling palm, wondering why the lock's closed so fast. Steps echoed soft down the gravel drive. That autumn evening we both grew old. Now shadows stretch perfect white saucer of peppermint. I almost reach out to touch your sleeve before I remember how thin you went. Time does not heal, it just learns to wait behind closed doors where the embers fade. I place the key back on the bureau wood and dim the lamp because the day is through. A brass bell rings at 5 against the square. You pull your woolen scarf around your chin. We walk the pavement where the chestnuts fall and talk of foolish things that might have been. You always stop to watch the baker's glass, to count the loaves of rice stacked in a row. I kept my hands deep in my pockets then, afraid to spoil the peace we used to know. Old friend, the road is quiet now. The years have worn the edges down. We laughed through every bitter frost and lost the things we never owned. You saved a ticket stub from 64 inside a dictionary on the shelf. I found it there when you moved out last spring and left the empty rooms to speak themselves. Some part of us still waits beside the door before the evening train begins to blow. We chose the roads that led us far apart, with nowhere left we hadn't come to know. So tip your hat and walk into the mist. The station clock is ticking out our time. I will remember how you smiled back then, before the shadows lengthened down the line. The scent of cedar wood and wet wool fill the quiet room where two people sat across a table made of gloom. No angry voices rose, no bitter tears were shed, just the heavy ticking of the clock above their head. He traced a circle on the wood with his finger cold, and she folded up the shawl she wore through days of old. They packed their separate bags before the twilight died, with nothing left to prove and nowhere left to hide. A simple parting after 20 years of grace, leaving only silence in the empty fireplace. He picked his heavy overcoat up from the wooden chair, while she stood by the window watching rain fall on the square. They did not touch their hands or share a final kiss, accepting how the turning world had come to this. The door swung outward slowly to the gravel path outside, where every whispered promise and forgotten dream had died. He walked into the drizzle down the garden lane, and she closed the heavy timber door against the falling rain. The sudden clatter of a fallen spoon broke the silence in the kitchen. I stared at the spot where your boots used to sit. Dust motes drifted in the late afternoon slant, 20 years measured in notches on the door frame. The kettle finally stopped whistling on the burner, and I forgot why I walked into this hall. Cold gravy on the counter and a calendar from May. We packed our suitcases on a very rainy day. Nothing lasts forever when the promises decay. Just an empty coffee cup and bills we couldn't pay. Your favorite sweater hangs behind the bathroom door. I never had the heart to give it to the thrift. Footsteps upstairs always sound like you coming home, though the floorboards settled long before the snow. The yard overgrown with weeds you meant to pull, and the radio playing songs we used to know. Cold gravy on the counter and a calendar from May. We packed our suitcases on a very rainy day. Nothing lasts forever when the promises decay. Just an empty coffee cup and bills we couldn't pay. I Turn the lock and draw the heavy cotton shades, watching twilight fade across the empty street. Sometimes I still set a plate for two. Before I remember, I am eating by myself. The porch light flickers as the evening settles in. I put the leftover pie away in Tupperware. Another quiet night begins without your voice, and I turn off the kitchen lamp and go to bed. Why do leaves fall backward when nobody walks beneath the oak? I left your wool sweater draped over the porch rail. It smells like chimney smoke and cheap pipe tobacco. A stray cat wanders across the gravel drive, looking for milk bowls that I forgot to fill. Everything keeps moving while I stand quite still. My fingers trace the dust upon the mantelpiece, counting the hours since you packed your leather bag. Trains roll past the orchard at 4:30, carrying strangers who don't know your name. I sit on the steps with a rusted iron key, wondering if tomorrow will feel just the same. 2 cups of chicory sitting on the pine board. One gets stone cold while the other slowly steams. I keep talking out loud to the empty kitchen chair, picking up threads of our half-forgotten dreams. Seasons change their coats without asking permission. Paper calendars flutter off the wall. I thought love would anchor like a heavy stone. Instead it drifted downward like a maple leaf in fall. I lock the front door and turn down the wick, watching the shadows stretch across the wooden floor. Even if you never walk back down this lane, I will keep the porch light burning by the door. A silver spoon left in the sink tells me you packed your suitcase before dawn. The coffee pot is dry and cold, and half our history is gone. I touch the indentation on the mattress edge where you used to dream. Silence fills the hallway now, louder than a passing stream. afternoon. Your favorite raincoat still hangs by the heavy door, with ticket stubs from 1964. I trace the dust upon the mantelpiece, where quiet sorrow finds a fragile peace. Time does not heal the hollow space. It only dims the color of your face. I thought that love would be an anchor in the gale. Instead it's just a folded letter left to mail. The grandfather clock ticks away the empty hours. I close the window against the evening chill. The street lamp flickers on the vacant sidewalk, and my slow heart remembers still. An ambulance bell cuts right through the fog. We're sitting on crates by the broken brick wall. Decades have drifted since back in the yard, when nothing could shatter us, nothing at all. I watch how the autumn pulls gray through your hair. Remember the promise we whispered right there. You packed up your bags for a different town and left all our records to gather the dust. I stayed on the corner when boats started down. We traded our summer for silence and rust. Your letters grew sparse till they stopped in July. I burned every page in the rusty old stove. The neighbors all wondered the reason you'd fly, while I kept on tending the roots of the grove. Time is a river that carries the blame. It hollows out stone and it alters a name. The milk bottles rattle down on the dark street. I turn off the lamp and I rest my tired feet. The smell of toasted rye drifts down the hall, where suitcase leather waits against the wall. He leaves his silver watch upon the shelf and tries to explain the ending to himself. She didn't cry when the taxicab pulled away, just folded her apron and turned off the overhead light. Some love stories burn out in the rain, leaving nothing behind but a lingering strain. He boards the evening train with the ticket to Rome, while she sweeps the front porch and calls it a home. Decades pass by like pages in a book found in a dusty drawer. With one quick look, a faded photograph of autumn trees and faded promises carried on the breeze. Time heals the heavy heart, they say, but memory refuses to fade away. Across the miles they never met again, two quiet strangers in a world of men. The station clock strikes midnight in the town as another tired traveler puts his burden down. A sudden memory broke the midnight quiet, shifting dust across the hardwood floor. I reached to touch the place where you were sleeping and found your heavy coat behind the door. The street lamp flickers amber through the shade, casting long shadows on the empty bed. Old records spin beneath the heavy needle, while black and white rolls through the silver screen. We walked the pier before the storm broke open. Now silence fills the space where we have been. I poured a cup of tea and let it cool down, watching steam rise up against the pane. Your ticket stub is tucked inside the Bible, stained by the dampness of an autumn rain. Time moves slowly when the room is freezing, and every ticking clock pretends to care. I still keep turning round to catch your laughter, forgetting for a second you're not there. The trailing notes fade softly down the hallway as dawn begins to touch the window glass. I fold your letters neatly in the drawer now and watch another quiet morning pass. Why do the clocks in empty houses tick so loud? when nobody is left to check the time. I walked into the kitchen just to pour some tea and found your favorite porcelain cup still clean. I keep forgetting you moved across the floor to rooms where shadows never fall anymore. Old photographs curl at the edges in the drawer. We promised forever right beside the grocery store. Now the milk goes sour and the front door stays unlocked, while my wandering fingers trace a ring that time undid. I spent the afternoon fixing that stubborn latch, the one you always complained about in spring. It clicks into place and suddenly the silence hurts like a heavy coat dropped on a tired shoulder. They say that hearts can mend like broken china plates, with lines of gold to hold the pieces in their place. But mine just leaks whenever the weather turns to rain, and I forget which side of the bed you used to claim. The kettle whistles softly on the back burner. I turn off the flame and talk to the empty air. Maybe tomorrow I will finally fold your sweaters and put them away in the dark cedar chest. The weight of the chair feels heavier now that the room is so bare. I polish the oak where your elbow would lean, without a care. We planted a garden of promises meant to outlast the cold. Instead we just watched as the copper of autumn turned into gold. I saved all the pennies we tossed in the tin by the kitchen door, expecting a fortune of tomorrow that never came to our floor. We traded our dreams for a shelter built out of unspoken pride, with nothing left standing between all the tears that we tried to hide. I you mailed from the coast in '92. The ink is all faded, but every remembrance still rings true. You spoke of a harbor where big ships would dock at the break of dawn, while I was too busy keeping the fires burning while you were gone. If time is a healer, it moves like a glacier across the floor, and love is a visitor knocking too late at a bolted door. I forgive you the silence, I pardon myself for the heavy pride. We simply ran out of the road where the two of us used to ride. The room is quite empty, the twilight is settling on the sill. I turn off the lamp and the house grows wonderfully, softly still. I carry the key in my pocket, ready to lock the gate and walk toward the evening before it gets just a bit too late. Glow spills off the counter edge, while the nickel coffee cools inside the cup. You turn a calendar page from June to May and never lift your heavy eyelids up. I never meant to sit this close to you, beneath the buzzing neon overhead. Some ghosts arrive with baggage in their hands, some leave their coats upon the wooden chair. We traded secrets to the kitchen wall before the morning chased away the chill in the air. The waitress wipes the vinyl stool nearby and drops a silver spoon into the sink. You trace a circle on the paper mat and wonder what I am too shy to think. The clock above the register is slow. It ticks away the moments we have left before the door swings open to the street and leaves this quiet corner quite bereft. Drink down your coffee while the steam remains. We walk in opposite directions through the rain. You said yesterday the winter wind had teeth. I found a frozen leaf stuck underneath your porch. A pair of boots still resting by the screen where mud turned gray right into a crust. Every little mark you left behind paints a picture that is hard to draw. I count the empty jars upon the sill and watch the rusted weather vane stand still. No note was pinned beside the kitchen door, just silence spreading across the wooden floor. The calendar still shows last Tuesday's date, a button rolled beneath the rocking chair. Your favorite mug is sitting half unwashed, with rings of bitter coffee growing dark. Time does not heal the way the story ends. It simply folds the edges out of sight. I touch the place where your hand used to rest and turn the lock to face the fading light. The milkman took the empty bottles back. I pulled the heavy curtains on the track. Another evening settles in the hall, without your shadow leaning on the wall. Rough tweed pressed against my trembling fingertips, while the station clock ticks down our final hour. You are looking past the tracks into the gray, holding tightly to a paper bag of flour. Forgot to ask you how the garden grew before the autumn frost turned everything so blue. Trains roll out and steel wheels start to grind, leaving all our quiet Sundays far behind. I still feel the wool against my hand as you fade into the dust of this old land. Years have rolled like freight cars down a broken line, and my heavy eyes refuse to read the page. Pictures yellow slowly in a wooden frame, caught between the chapters of approaching age. Every whistle in the night recalls your coat and the heavy lump of sorrow in my throat. I am sitting by the window in the dark, waiting for a spark that never comes back home. trace the dust upon the mantelpiece a little while. Your favorite woolen still hang behind the cellar door, and winter drafts no longer whistle on the hardwood floor. I wonder if you kept that ticket stub inside your coat, or dropped it from the railing where the paper boats would float. Years will roll the carpet thin, we miss the dance we could have been. A faded photograph of slate, arriving just a minute late. I put the silver kettle on to boil for one, and watch the shadows lengthen till the afternoon is done. The radio is playing strings from 1943, and every vacant armchair holds a memory for me. Sometimes in the quiet dark I hear your footsteps tread across the boards we sanded down before the summer fled. I fold the blanket neatly by the windowsill. The tea grows cold because the room has grown so still. I pull the heavy curtains close against the setting sun, and whisper to the empty space, our song is done. Solitary hairpin rest beside the porcelain cup. I stare at where your hand would curl. The afternoon is heavy and the shadows stretch too long. I have no words to start the search. Footsteps echo down the hall. I turn my head in vain, expecting your familiar knock. Love slipped away like water through open palms, leaving a quiet room and a ticking clock. We wrote our names in pencil on the kitchen wall. Now winter wind is rattling the padlock. Your favorite woolen sweater hangs across the wooden chair. I trace the seams where elbows wore. The tea has turned to amber ice, the fire finally died. I walk across the creaking floor. Seasons turn their pages while the photograph fades out. I thought our story had a longer road. Time takes back the promises it told us in the dark, and leaves me with this heavy load. I fold the blanket neatly and I lock the heavy door. The quiet settles deep inside my chest. I leave the hairpins sitting by the empty porcelain cup, and finally I let the memories rest. and spilled your favorite cup of porcelain bone. You stared right through the kitchen window pane while I was tracing patterns in the rain. We saved our letters in a rusty tin and wondered where the other half had been. Old friends divide the silver from the rust. We left our promises in summer dust. You take the heavy trunk, I take the view, and neither one of us knows what to do. A heavy woolen coat upon the chair reminds me how you used to wear your hair. We kept the radio at 5:30 to prove our stubborn history was alive. Remember walking by the harbor wall before the leaves began to brown and fall. We thought the world would wait for you and me across the gray and unforgiving sea. The milkman left a note beside the gate and whispered that it simply grew too late. I fold my collar from the autumn chill and walk alone down Maple Street uphill. The smell of toasted rye drifts through the general store while Arthur sweeps the sawdust from the pine board floor. He remembers 30 autumns since she walked away with nothing but a basket and a calico dress that day. The village clock tower strikes the heavy hour while frost begins to silver over every flower. He left his hat upon the peg where hers used to hang and listened to the chapel bell as it slowly rang. No letters came across the bridge to ease his mind, just footsteps in the frozen mud that stayed behind. A heavy woolen blanket keeps the drafts at bay while kerosene lamps flicker as the shadows play. He stirs the copper kettle on the iron stove and thinks about the promises they used to prove. Seasons turn from green to white and back again without a single word from her since back then. He locks the heavy wooden door against the cold night chill watches how the moonlight rests upon the silent hill. A sudden clatter broke the quiet room as copper coins fell rolling on the floor. You stood beside the lace-curtained window with trembling fingers tracing wood and door. I watched your shoulders sink beneath the shawl before you turned and didn't speak at all. Trains depart when autumn leaves are brown, taking every promise out of town. We packed our laughter in a cardboard box and left the fading harbor to the docks. Two steaming mugs grew bitter in the chill. The platform clock stood heavy at the 5. I kept a faded photograph of you to prove our fleeting season was alive. Time rolls onward like a carriage wheel, dragging pieces of the past we used to feel. The tracks grow rusty underneath the rain as distance slowly washes out your name. I fold the final paper crane alone and walk back to a house I used to own. Does the tea kettle whistle when no one is thirsty? I stare at the linoleum pattern while folding a napkin. 10 square tiles of yellow that faded in 1980. My fingers trace the edge of a chipped ceramic cup. Thoughts drift backward like dust motes in slanted sunlight. You left your wool scarf draped across the wicker rocker. I never found the nerve to hang it in the closet. It still smells faintly of pipe tobacco and pine. Old photographs curl at the border like autumn leaves. We danced in the kitchen while soup boiled over the stove. Now the floorboards are quiet under my slippers alone, and time is a river that carried us far from our home. I reach for the dial on the Philco to find a broadcast. Static hums softly instead of the brass band we loved. A nickel sits on the counter beside a grocery list, written in ink that has turned to a dusty violet. The latch on the back screen door clicks in the evening breeze. about the weather before I remember the empty chair by the hearth. Old photographs curl at the border like autumn leaves. We danced in the kitchen while soup boiled over the stove. Now the floorboards are quiet under my slippers alone, and time is a river that carried us far from our home. Seasons turn slowly through frosted window panes. I keep the porch light burning till the midnight train, just in case you misplace your key in the dark. The kettle grows silent as the water finally cools down. I fold your woolen scarf and place it in the drawer. The house breathes deeply and waits for the dawn to break. The weight of the chair is heavy tonight. I sit where you rested your coat. A photograph fading under the light, and words that I never could quote. Time was a thief with a gentle stride, stealing the warmth from our wooden floor. We traded our dreams for a quiet routine and watched all the seasons slip in between. I held back my sorrow, you hid your regret. Two strangers who happen to somehow forget. Your teacup still sits on the second shelf, unwashed and untouched since July. I whisper these warnings to my past self, with salt growing thick in my eye. If I could turn back the calendar page, I would shatter the pride and open the cage. The room is now empty, the fireplace cold. I read every story that we left untold. Forgive me, my darling, for letting you go in winters that taught us the deepest of snow. The amber glow of street lamps on the stone reveals a bench where no one sits alone, except for you, with autumn in your coat, and silence like a coin in inside your throat. I stop my stride beneath the folding sign to ask if fortune favored your design, or if the chill had driven you to stay until the trams had rusted all away. Do you remember how the river bent before the willow branches came and went, and left us wondering which way to tread, when every map was turning green instead? You turned your head and smiled a crooked line, as if my coat were just as worn as mine, and offered up a lighter for the dark, without a word to fan the sudden spark. We shared an hour of watching shadows grow, where trains departed very long ago. Two strangers caught inside a passing tune, beneath the paper lantern of the moon. The second hand is ticking down the street. I take my leave upon uncertain feet. Your quiet face is fading from my sight, yet still I keep the matches from tonight. You said yesterday the mailman dropped his ring down inside the sewer grate beside the pump. I noticed how your winter coat had lost a button right above the hem where tweed begins to fray. Small details linger when the room gets quiet, a teacup drying on a folded tea towel, the way the calendar still shows last October, before the driveway froze, and parking meters tick away the afternoon, while pigeons gather round a puddle turned to ice. We watch the neighborhood grow older by degrees, with nothing left to pack and nowhere else to please. The grocery ledger sits beside the butter knife, with 20 cents recorded for a pound of pears. I found a ticket stub tucked underneath the cushion from 40 summers past when theaters stayed awake. These little pieces left behind on wooden tables are all we keep to prove we shared the floor. A spool of thread, a pair of scissors on the shelf, and silence closing doors. The porch light flickers as the shadows before the kitchen chills. Faded wool from your father's old coat hangs on the peg by the pantry door. I run my thumb through the raveling hem, counting the threads of the life we wore. A heavy iron sitting on the stove, to fold. Seasons turn like pages in a thumb-through book. I found your silver spectacles inside a nook. We spent our pennies wisely on a rented room before the quiet filled our house with autumn gloom. Two teacups resting on the cedar shelf, one stained with tannin from the autumn rain. I turned the handle to the painted wall and listened closely to the window pane. Time does not hurry when the rooms are still. It settles down like dust upon the floor. I keep the parlor window open just an inch to catch the breeze that carried you once more. Da, 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 da. The linen cools beneath my tired hand. I fold the blanket just the way you planned. The sun slips quietly behind the willow tree and leaves the evening sitting down with me. A brass key left on the bureau top. It holds the dust of a season past. I turn it round in my trembling palm, wondering why the lock's closed so fast. Steps echoed soft down the gravel drive. That autumn evening we both grew old. Now shadows stretch across the empty room, where quiet sorrow finds a place to stay. I wear the silence like a heavy coat and pack our 30 golden years away. Your favorite spectacles rest the day is through. A brass bell rings at 5 against the square. You pull your woolen scarf around your chin. We walk the pavement where the chestnuts fall and talk of foolish things that might have been. You always stop to watch the baker's glass, to count the loaves of rice stacked in a row. I kept my hands deep in my pockets then, afraid to spoil the peace we used to know. Old friend, the road is quiet now. The years have worn the edges down. We laughed through every bitter frost and lost the things we never owned. You saved a ticket stub from 64 inside a dictionary on the shelf. I found it there when you moved out last spring and left the empty rooms to speak themselves. Some part of us still waits beside the door before the evening train begins to blow. We chose the roads that led us far apart, with nowhere left we hadn't come to know. So tip your hat and walk into the mist. The station clock is ticking out our time. I will remember how you smiled back then, before the shadows lengthened down the line. The scent of cedar wood and wet wool fill the quiet room, where two people sat across a table made of gloom. No angry voices rose, no bitter tears were shed, just the heavy ticking of the clock above their head. He traced a circle on the wood with his finger cold, and she folded up the shawl she wore through days of old. They packed their separate bags before the twilight died, graceful parting after 20 years of grace, leaving only silence in the empty fireplace. He picked his heavy overcoat up from the wooden chair, while she stood by the window watching rain fall on the square. They did not touch their hands or share a final kiss, accepting how the turning world had come to this. The door swung outward slowly to the gravel path outside, where every whispered promise and forgotten dream had died. He walked into the drizzle down the garden lane, and she closed the heavy timber door against the falling rain. The sudden clatter of a fallen spoon broke the silence in the kitchen. I stared at the spot where your boots used to sit. Dust motes drifted in the late afternoon slant, 20 years measured in notches on the door frame. The kettle finally stopped whistling on the burner, and I forgot why I walked into this hall. Cold gravy on the counter and a calendar from May. We packed our suitcases on a very rainy day. Nothing lasts forever when the promises decay. Just an empty coffee cup and bills we couldn't pay. Your favorite sweater hangs behind the bathroom door. I never had the heart to give it to the thrift. Footsteps upstairs always sound like you coming home, though the floorboards settled long before the snow. The yard overgrown with weeds you meant to pull, and the radio playing songs we used to know. Cold gravy on the counter and a calendar from May. We packed our suitcases on a very rainy day. Nothing lasts forever when the promises decay. Just an empty coffee cup and bills we couldn't pay. I turn the lock and draw the heavy cotton shades, watching twilight fade across the empty street. Sometimes I still set a plate for two. Before I remember, I am eating by myself. The porch light flickers as the evening settles in. I put the leftover pie away in Tupperware. Another quiet night begins without your voice, and I turn off the kitchen lamp and go to bed. trees fall backward when nobody walks beneath the oak. I left your wool sweater draped over the porch rail. It smells like chimney smoke and cheap pipe tobacco. A stray cat wanders across the gravel drive, looking for milk bowls that I forgot to fill. Everything keeps moving while I stand quite still. My fingers trace the dust upon the mantelpiece, counting the hours since you packed your leather bag. Trains roll past the orchard at 4:30, carrying strangers who don't know your name. I sit on the steps with a rusted iron key, wondering if tomorrow will feel just the same. 2 cups of chicory sitting on the pine board. One gets stone cold while the other slowly steams. I keep talking out loud to the empty kitchen chair, picking up threads of our half-forgotten dreams. Seasons change their coats without asking permission. Paper calendars flutter off the wall. I thought love would anchor like a heavy stone. Instead it drifted downward like a maple leaf in fall. I lock the front door and turn down the wick, watching the shadows stretch across the wooden floor. Even if